Hello and welcome to another update video about VeChain. So VeChain is currently playing out. It's just fantastic. We've seen more upside for VeChain, and it is really, I'm so glad that we continued to talk about VeChain on this channel very regularly. A lot of people have had comments down here, VeChain is a dead coin and so on. No, it's not a dead coin. We can finally see how many, maybe people realizing that VeChain has a use case, the greatness, in my opinion, greatness in the project. I really like the project. Lots of partners, yeah. And a lot of people always say it's a Chinese cryptocurrency. Well, by the way, crypto or VeChain, they have offices in various countries, yeah. Also in the USA as far as I'm concerned. So really worldwide offices. They are not necessarily only in China. So yeah, all of that, and really a promising cryptocurrency in my opinion. Very glad that we kept talking about it, even though it seemed to be bleeding out. But as you know, in terms of the Elliott waves, in terms of the Fibonacci levels where we see a potential reversal, that seems to be working out at the moment. Exactly here in the area below that wave A low, exactly here in the area between the 88.7% Fib level and the 78.6% Fib level, we have seen the expected reversal. Now, is this already the low? Have we already seen the low? I still am a little bit skeptical, and I still cannot confirm that, because that would be just speculation. But it is the cryptocurrency where I would say, maybe together with Chainlink, where with the highest probability I would say that the low is already in. Now again, still downside potential there, because we have not managed to move above that 10.2 cent level. That would be a very important next confirmation. But personally, before we really break above that 18.8 cent level up here, that wave B high, I'm not really willing to really confirm with, I mean, you can never be sure 100%, but I will not be able to confirm that the low is already in. That is just part of crypto, that is part of trading, that is part of investing, that you never really know. And we have to be honest about that. You never know, you can only assume. And so far all the assumptions about VeChain have proven to be right. We talked about the correction coming into this area here. We talked about that in November. Again, I just want to emphasize that TA works. TA can work. Fibonacci levels work. They are very important, and you can see it. Proof is here, not only for VeChain, but for many other altcoins as well that have come into this region here. And also on top of that, we saw that descending wedge, which also broke to the upside. And yeah, last or previous confirmation we talked about that was the break above that 6.9 cent level, that we can then expect higher prices if we break above that level. And again, we broke above it, retested this previous resistance as support. Very bullish sign, very powerful. And now you can see this engulfing bullish candle that is engulfing the previous price action here from the last couple of days. And we are moving further towards the 200-day moving average. Now that will be the next major resistance at around 8.99 cents. But really then the next major level that I'm watching out for after that. And bear in mind, Bitcoin is currently struggling with the 200-day moving average. I think Ethereum is struggling with the 200-day moving average. Yes, so we see a few cryptos currently struggling with that level. That emphasizes how important that level actually is. So, however, after that, you get to the 10.2 cents. That is that previous swing high. And after that, we should be able to very quickly get to that previous high here at 18.9 cents. Now, if we get there straight away, I don't know, because we can see here on the daily that actually those candles closed already around 17.5 cents. So it's a bit of a zone here. So really it's starting to look very promising here for VeChain. But again, it is just too early to have a very confident confirmation about that the low is already in. Yeah, we can't just confirm that. It wouldn't be honest. And yeah, I mean, if I tell you that, it would just be wishful thinking, I guess. But maybe a lot of people would expect, would hope for another dip to buy back lower. And surely there will be at some point here a larger correction again, because if you get your first 5-wave move, and let's just assume that we are starting that maybe we have here our first wave 1, 2, get your wave 3 in here, maybe then a 4 correction in the 5, then what you should see afterwards is another ABC, and that should then normally take, and that would be the wave 1 here again, and we're coming down in a wave 2. That should be another possibility for an entry point. Personally, am I taking any profits already? Absolutely not. You know that my expectation is that with VeChain, in that next major wave up, we are going all the way up to at least 45 cents. So personally, I'm not trying to play here the game and try to sell at 10 cents and buy back at 8. For me, that doesn't make sense. It could, in the worst case, result in the price just cutting through that resistance, jumping all the way up to 18 cents. I have to buy back higher. No, I'm not going to do that. I will take profits along the way up. That is my sell order sheets. And I will take some profits at lower percentages at important resistance levels where I assume we could see a bit of a reversal. If there is no reversal, I'm fine with it. I'm just reduced the position size then. I've taken already then good profits, just lower percentages. Yeah, maybe like take 10% out or whatever. But I leave the biggest chunks of profit taking for those Fibonacci extensions in the all-time high area, because I would expect at least the 1.618 extension at 45 cents. But before we get there, bear in mind, nothing will move in a straight line, and there will be setbacks along the way, and they can always be used, in my opinion, to accumulate before then profit will be taken at the higher levels. That's only my strategy. Especially in an uptrend, you don't want to sell in an uptrend, in my opinion. That's just my view, my strategy, because we want to ride the trend until the end, isn't it? And of course, dollar cost averaging out is an option, but not starting too early, in my opinion. Yeah, that is my own strategy, because the potential to the upside, or let's call it the risk to the upside, is just much larger than the risk to the downside, meaning that we could see here huge upside potential, and we might actually miss that by either not buying or by selling too early. And then the potential to the downside is actually fairly limited. You can drop, obviously, but the potential to drop down and the risk of dropping and potentially having to hold through another period of correction, I would not even consider that a risk, because it would even give us the opportunity to buy back lower. And generally, while the crypto market is consolidating a little bit, VeChain pumping, the daily MACD pushing higher, no sign of stopping yet, but we need to bear in mind that here on the RSI, we are now getting into the overbought range, now getting close to 80, so you can expect here at some point a correction, absolutely, and that personally I will probably use that for accumulating. Now I can't tell you yet if that's going to happen tomorrow or whatever, but what we can see on the 4-hour chart, let's just take a look. We are seeing a fairly clear and very clear bearish divergence on the 4-hour chart. That would also confirm a potential upcoming correction. Yeah, so you have a lower high on the RSI, but you have higher highs on the price chart. That indicates that a correction could be happening soon, and again, it might happen when we reach that 200-day moving average at 9 cents. But overall, a lot of upside potential. Yeah, the higher level time frame indicators, they definitely confirm we are pushing higher. We've got the long signal. We've got here on the 4-day chart, the MACD is still pushing higher. That definitely supports higher levels, especially as the MACD line was very low. It's not even crossed the 0 line from below. The RSI also 58 on the 4-day chart. It's fairly high already now, but still more upside potential before we see another move down, in my opinion. And we had here, obviously, and that was already on the 22nd or 23rd of March, talked about that bullish crossover here on the momentum indicator. So all of that pretty much looking good, going as planned at the moment for VeChain, and I'm really glad about that. And sometimes, as I said, sometimes you just need to be patient. And what I said as well, and that might be a learning for some people, when everybody's losing interest and when people get too bearish and when people start talking about a dead coin, and I mean, if it's really dead, it's dead, but this wasn't dead, and the sentiment shifts and people leave the market and everything, that is when we should stay interested, which was exactly down here. And then we need to get less interested when we move into the all-time high area. So basically doing exactly the opposite what most people do. Good, interesting, all going according to plan. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you really like the content and want to get some more timely updates, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.